Hello everyone. This is my second run through this and I got to get it right this time. I don't have time for more. This is a virus update and I haven't been putting videos up because I just quite frankly haven't had time. I run a small business, a small school. Basically I have 5,000 square foot of office space and we have classrooms that hold anywhere from 3 or 4 people up to 150. And you can imagine with this virus we're shut down because there are restrictions in place. You can only meet with up to 10 people up until a few days ago per classroom, and a few days ago our county shut down all non-essential services. Okay, now they said businesses can stay open if they help other people with their job. I'm helping students whose job is education. So we stayed open on a limited basis. We're following the county guidelines, and we've got it down to where there's only 4 people in a 5,000 square foot office building on a pretty regular basis. So we're keeping open, but the only way I'm keeping open is I'm having to start a video streaming business from the ground up by myself. A lot of these have production crews of anywhere from 5 to 20 people, and I'm doing it all myself. For the last 3 weeks, I'm working 14 hours a day, period. Get up, work, go to bed. Get up, work, go to bed. It's starting to take its toll on me. I'm starting to get a little loopy. This is what I've done, trying to keep my business afloat. And here's why that's important. Let's pick on a small business for a minute, okay? Let's just say you got a retail business, a restaurant. Let's pick on a restaurant. Let's say you have a 5,000 square foot restaurant. My office is 5,000 square feet, so I know something about the cost of that. Although I'm in an office building, which is very different than retail. But I know some people in retail, so I can give you some numbers on this. 5,000 square foot retail space is probably costing you $6,000 a month. That's not with utilities. And since those things are just thrown up really quick, utilities on that's probably around another $2,000 a month. So you're shelling out $7,000 a month. Okay. Then you got payroll. You got a 5,000 square foot spot. You probably don't have too many employees on station at any given time. You probably have 5 or 6 of them in there on any time the store is open. And if they're working full time, you're probably running about, and I got my eyes closed because I'm thinking through this. We pay a minimum because of retail. In a college town, you can get away with that, especially if it's a store students want to work in. Okay, so you're probably running on your payroll probably about $15,000 a month, and then you add payroll taxes on top of that, closer to 20. So we're at $30,000 a month, and that's just to keep the doors open. All right, and now you got this court order and county orders and federal orders that you can't be open, and you're supposed to pay your employees. How fast will you go through your saving if you're paying $30,000 a month to your employees? What if you just expanded to a new location and drained your savings? Now what do? If you're a restaurant, you have a lot of inventory sitting in there, and food perishes. So you got inventory you're not selling, and you probably got a good $5,000 to $10,000 worth of inventory you're about to throw away. And if you want to reopen, you have to spend all that money yet again. So if this stays going for a month or two, places are just going to be shutting down right and left. I'm struggling to keep my doors open. I've had to set up a video streaming service. Since I run a small school, I can't have students in there. 5,000 square feet, we got 4 people in that office today. And I'm paying $5,000 a month rent on that. How do I keep that open when I have no income? How do I keep paying employees when I have no income? Now, some of you are going to be in there typing in the comments, but he's an ass. He doesn't care about people dying. I do care about people dying. Don't take it that way. But I also care about feeding people. And right now, the suicide rate is climbing like mad because people are losing their jobs. They're being evicted. They're losing their homes. They're losing a business that they've spent 20 years building because they can't pay the bills. We have to look at the flip side of this. The virus has a pretty low death rate in the United States. I'm not saying other countries. Other countries have a much higher death rate. We have good medical care here, contrary to what the press tells you. We have pretty good medical care here. The fact is in the numbers. We have less than 2% fatality rate on this virus, whereas other countries have up to 20% fatality rate. That tells you an awful lot. I do understand why they're telling us to stay indoors and stay out of the public and not have contact with others. And a lot of that's mainly because this thing is extremely contagious. True, a lot of people just get sick. They run a fever for an inconvenient period of time and then recover and go on about life. Some don't even get sick. Small children don't seem to get sick at all. The elderly seem to get really sick. The problem is if we get too many sick at once, hospitals can't handle it. That's happening in New York City right now. So I do understand why they're telling us to stay out. But on the flip side, you have a lot of people suffering economically, and these losses, if they continue for much longer, are going to become catastrophic to far too many. We're going to lose too many businesses. I read an article today that the Cheesecake Factory, if this thing goes on for another 6 days, they're shutting their doors and they may not open again. And that's a major corporation. These companies can't operate and pay people with no revenue. It just doesn't happen. You can't pay your bills if you don't have money. You can't buy food if you don't have money. And that's the direction all this is headed. My local city is losing $4 or $5 million a day in sales tax revenue, and we are not in a big city. They can't sustain that for much longer either. So something's going to have to give soon. I'm not putting videos up simply because I don't have time to. Starting a video streaming service from the ground up by myself with no production crew is a very difficult thing to do. I've spent a lot of time learning about this. I've gone through 2 or 3 different companies. I've spent far more money than I have struggling to get some revenue so that I might be able to keep some of the bills going. I might be able to pay a few of my employees. I might be able to keep things going. Okay? My revenue is 1/10 of what it was last year at this time. 1/10. I have money coming in, better than some, but it is not enough to sustain things for very long. Okay? So we have to give something soon. You've been wondering why I haven't seen videos from me? I'm working 12, 14 hours a day, learning about video streaming, learning about bit rates, learning what cameras work, what cameras don't, what streaming services work, what streaming services don't, what streaming service are going to rape your wallet when you accidentally sign up for them. Yeah, that happened to me. I realized it pretty quick and shut it down, but I already paid something. Good thing is in another week or 2, I'm shutting them down completely, and I won't pay them any more money. I went to a different service that charges per video. Some of you probably know what that is. Vimeo, V-I-M-E-O. I'm using them now. They are much more reliable than the last one. Their fees are pretty flat out explained. Unlike the last one, had a whole bunch of fees that don't show up right away, and they kind of get you, and they don't let you have your videos back, which is really annoying. I don't sound bitter. No, not at all. But anyhow, just a quick update, where I've been, what I'm doing. I'm struggling to keep things going, struggling to keep a revenue stream in. And the problem is this damage is going to extend out all the way till September, October of this year. It isn't just now. This is one of my prime seasons when I earn a lot of money, because I won't, starting at the last half of May, all the way to September, I earn very little money. I need to earn it all right now. And I'm shut down and can't. So this is going to be a fun experience in about a month. Okay? Maybe I'll figure out something and win the lottery. Who knows? That would be wonderful. That would fix things, wouldn't it? Except for the state. Probably doesn't have the money to pay you from the lottery because they haven't had money for a while. Anyhow, this is kind of a bitch session. I know. I'm going to go. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I've been working hard to set things up so they're easy to maintain instead of half-assing things so that I'm constantly having to maintain them. And I've almost got everything set up, so it's very easy to post the videos and very easy to work through them. Making the videos is still consuming the same time I would have working at school, teaching the classes I normally teach. So that isn't that big of a deal. It's rendering the videos, uploading the videos, updating my website so that you can see the videos. That stuff was eating up my time. And, I had precious little time to begin with. Anyhow, everyone, just want to let you know what's going on. I still exist. I have actually got a few models done, and they're not just snapped together. I'm painting them. They're almost done. This whole virus thing shut me down, and until I get past it, everything shut down there. I have enough videos in the can. I can post a video every once in a while once I get a little bit extra time. So you guys can keep seeing videos about once a week, every other week or so. I'm not going to abandon everything that far. All right. Thought I'd give you an update, and I'll talk to you all later.